Dr. Nick Bond, hello, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, it is my pleasure.
So you see the latest weather events in Canada, in Japan, for example. Are we living already the global warming, the climate change?
Well, that's a great question. And there's not a simple, easy answer in that these are, first and foremost, extreme weather events. And so the role of climate change is being, and the attribution is being debated. Certainly the climate has warmed. And you mentioned the event in Japan, the tragic landslide, the very heavy rains. The waters around Japan are much warmer than they usually are historically for this time of year. And with that much warmer an ocean, that can mean that the atmosphere picks up more water vapor. And so when it does rain, it rains harder.
Can you see a direct connection between those extreme events and the global warming?
Yes, and there it to an extent. But as I mentioned before, the important thing is these are extreme weather events that, and there have been those kind of weather events in the past and they're going to be in the future, but they have probably been made a little bit worse because of the global warming.
So, Dr. Bond, what should we expect in 5 to 10 years? Will we see more severe and frequent extreme events?
That's right. What we can look forward to is gradually a little more intense heat waves when they happen, when things all get together just right or just wrong to bring really hot temperatures to an area. And so they're more intense when they happen, and that shift in the distribution of temperatures such that they're not just more intense when they happen, but happen a little bit more frequently. But I do want to emphasize that these were extraordinary events.
Can you give us an example for such a severe event in 5 years?
Yeah, there in just the next 5-10 years, the natural variability in the weather and climate system will dominate. And so there that we happen to have an intense heat wave in the Pacific Northwest of the United States and in Canada, that was kind of a fluke, just happened this year. And the fluctuations in the weather and climate are apt to dominate the trends. As we get toward more the middle of the century, then those trends are large enough that they're going to start really making it evident that our weather is different than it used to be.
There is a prediction, according to cities will be flooded. Can you relate to this?
Yeah. So I think the signal will emerge above the noise, if you know what I mean, in the next 20 years or so. But still, it is a noisy system, and that's why attribution is so difficult, and why there's legitimate debate about just how large a role climate change has played in these recent events. I personally think it is certainly a factor, and if nothing else, our temperatures have never been close to what were measured a few days ago in the Seattle and Portland area in the United States.
Is there any way to prevent the temperatures even go higher, or maybe it's too late for us?
Yeah, for the most part, we don't really have much control there. We can do things in our cities where we can try to help out people that are more disadvantaged and don't have a chance to stay cool in these sort of situations. Of course, as a globe, what we need to do is reduce the reliance on fossil fuels and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But I'm afraid that the prospects are for warmer weather to continue and for that warming to even accelerate.
Dr. Nick Bond, thank you so much for your answers.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate your interest in the subject.